I know you weren't here for this.
Oh my god. I need to train him to break that habit.
I don't know.
Okay, alright. Hold on.
I'm not sure if you're the dominant one in that relationship.
Okay, alright.
No, I'm definitely not. I'm just saying I can try.
Okay, guys.
He's Papa's son.
Gentlemen. We're ready to begin. We're ready to begin. I think.
Well, you put it as upcoming. It should be.
Yeah, no. I think that it's. Why are you constantly burping?
We're live. It says we're counting down from 8 minutes. Crow, we're live. We can start talking again.
Yeah, that's how I was trying to look. Okay, so there we are. We are ready to
probably.
Yeah. Okay, we're back, everybody. Welcome. Everything broke, but it is live again. And you saw how quickly I got that started. You remember how it was taking me like 10 minutes to fire up a live stream? Oh, boom!
Mm-hmm.
Well, boom! Look at that, bitches.
Yeah, brand new and right on time.
Got this shit. All right, so this is part 2. Redski was desperate to use the bathroom, but I told him to sit there and wait, and he did. So we're gonna have to speed through this.
Well, no, we don't have to speed through. We just wait and see what happens.
Well, it's not like you're in a studio with me, dude. Do whatever you want. Okay, so you left you last left off at calling Repzilla a disgusting piece of shit.
For eternity.
Oh god, that's hilarious. Yeah.
It's just funny because I was telling Crow, I'm like, what if the audience just thought that Crow got so like angry that he just went on a rant saying the same thing over and over just to emphasize how angry he was.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to like trim off like the last, I don't know, 1 minute, 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's keep playing the video. Can't remember where this is exactly because that was so exciting. I think we're just starting off Eugene Cooney.
Yeah, you should just start from that segment.
Addressing his actions. Saying he addressed what people were wondering is definitely more of an overstatement. Yes, I'm well aware that he issued an apology to Eugene Cooney, and like I said before, that's great. The problem is that he was backed into a corner before he did it, and it doesn't take a genius to figure out that the only reason he issued an apology was to try and take some of the heat off of him. I don't blame him for dropping Belle Aubrey because she's insane, but then again, he's to blame because he was in her DMs since at least January entertaining her conspiracy theory that Eugene Cooney worked with YouTube to get her channel taken down. Heck, that stream with her that you removed, Repzilla, proved that.
I'm trying not to show our DMs.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a professional streamer, so I got this stuff on lock. Yeah, and she has a very similar narrative response to each and everything that happens, which is, oh, I didn't do this. It's not my place to talk on this. It's not my fault. I didn't do this, and shifts blame elsewhere. Actually, she blames the viewers for not understanding what she meant.
Repzilla, you did the exact same thing in your video. There were already streams that covered this live stream between Repzilla and Belle Aubrey, so I'll link a couple of those in the description, but if you do want to watch the full thing for yourself, I will link the Google Drive where the full stream has been archived. He made it a point that the video was a defense for Eugene Cooney in regards to the cerulean butterfly being used in pro-ana circles. Once again, Rep, you missed the mark on the criticism on this. You were being called out for using Eugenia's face and name in your title and thumbnail, and then used 2 minutes of your intro to do a TLDR on who she is, only to say that the topic isn't related to her at all. I know you only included Eugenia in there so you could get clicks and views, so why not just admit that instead of hiding behind what you call a noble cause? You have an obsession with Eugenia and her eating disorder, and the fact that you have 16 videos talking about her, some only weeks apart from each other, proves my point. And by the way, those 16 videos are just the only ones that he currently has up, because he's deleted a ton of other ones. Oh wait, what's that? Make it 17. He made another one, because this guy can't keep her name out of his fucking mouth. His tweets about her further show how much of a hate boner he has towards her. It's pretty fucking unsettling, to be completely honest. Looks like this tweet aged like milk. I don't usually see an issue with milking a situation for profit, but when it comes to Eugenia Cooney, the narrative becomes exploitative and centers on her ED, and people start advocating for her deplatforming, something Repzilla has been an active participant in. When people began showing support for Eugenia Cooney against these narratives, Repzilla started getting into arguments on Twitter trying to justify why Eugenia should be, quote, temporarily removed. Repzilla thinks that advocating for Eugenia's temporary removal from all platforms isn't deplatforming, but newsflash, removing someone from any platform at any given time.
I mean, fuck Christ, man. I like your video because it's like super thorough, but I mean, flat out, him saying I want her removed temporarily, like fuck off, dude.
Well, he walked that back too. He's like, it came to my attention that like some people wanted her temporarily removed,
Yeah,
but they didn't have her
him.
best intentions.
It's
like, what the
Repzilla.
fuck?
That would be Repzilla.
Yeah.
He means himself. It came to his attention that that was a bad thing that he was doing. Fucking Christ. Well, I don't want to
Come to my attention that me
Fucking-
being
dude,
a shitty
fuck
person
you,
is a
dude.
bug.
Yeah, dude, like, fucking Christ. I just be fucking honest. Holy shit.
Time is deplatforming. The amount of doubling down he did, going to any length he could to justify himself being in the right, was eerily similar to his behavior in the Leafy Green situation. I could just show these tweets on the screen, but since there are probably brainlets watching this who don't have the brain capacity to pause the video and read, I'll read some of these tweets out for you. Eugenia Cooney has shared a very obviously pro-Anna account with her followers on Instagram. Maybe she only saw the compliment, maybe she was in a hurry. Regardless, I feel she needs to be more careful of what she promotes, as they are now using the traffic to promote. Thoughts? The story was removed. It was up for about 3 hours. Then the account went private. Unsure if that is the reason it stopped showing or if Eugenia pulled it. When it was removed, she added 3 different stories of people complimenting her. Whatever the reason, I'm glad it's gone. Internet Unwind responds, gotta be honest, with her following and the number of interactions a day, the odds she would have taken the time to look into
I basically read out an entire Twitter thread. We don't have to go through that.
Oh, I was enjoying you being Boblax for a little
Okay.
bit.
Okay.
You even had
Just-
better music playing. Because Boblax doesn't
So
have
on
any
Twitter
music
versus today,
playing.
I can't do Roblox. So on
I don't bother
Twitter,
checking the
it's like
comments.
kind of like
I
a
get you said
walrus.
maybe, but still.
What the fuck?
Kind of sounds
Fuck
like
it.
a walrus.
You know what, dude? I'm just skipping it. Fuck it. Okay.
Sorry,
You ruined
No,
it.
it's
You ruined
okay.
it.
It's okay. It's okay. Just fucking whatever.
bruh. Cringe.
Okay, here we go.
Which, again, commenting stuff like this, it's just obsessive, and frankly, it's disgusting. You know, it's all too convenient that he calls his video opening up and how he's going to address everything, but never actually addresses all this stuff that he sweeps under the rug all the time. He still isn't providing any clarity towards his audience. Repzilla tried pushing the narrative that Eugenia isn't something you can control. It's also pretty odd to go after sexual predators in her audience. Eugenia has an audience of over 2 million people, and with that many, there's bound to be degenerates. Heck, you probably have a good number of those people watching your videos too, Repzilla. It isn't something you can control. It's also pretty odd to go after her for her audience members participating in pro-Anna conversations when similar conversations were going down on your own server. Speaking of your server, before you finally caved to everyone after you knew you were on a sinking ship, you were going after Eugenia for having a predator in her Discord. To give a quick background, it was made known in Eugenia's server that there was somebody who was an alleged convicted sex offender. Eugenia chose to wait for confirmation whether the person was a confirmed predator before kicking them. The person was in the server for 3 days before Eugenia got the confirmation and kicked him. There were a couple other situations where there were guys in her server who acted inappropriately. However, these interactions happened outside of Discord, so there was no way of Eugenia or her mods knowing this. But when these situations were brought to their attention, action was taken when evidence was given. As expected, the usual channels freaked out and made videos about it. Among this cesspool was Repzilla, who pushed the narrative that Eugenia was protecting predators. It's pretty hypocritical for him to hold her to this standard when a similar situation happened to him as well. Let's take a look back at that flag history again, shall we?
Oh. Yeah, the Sammy Vapor shit. Yeah, that was fun.
We shall proceed.
That was fun. We already played the Discord Predator hypocrisy.
No, we didn't.
Okay, never mind.
No, you just talked
The
about
other video
Sammy
in
Vapor,
Repzilla's
and I
flag
was
history
like,
that
I have a
caught
whole
my eye was a video
segment, so
called
we can
Repzilla
wait and talk
Defenses
about it then.
Disabilities from Crows of Judgment. The video was a Repzilla parody clowning on him
I mean,
over
we
the
touched
situation where an
on it,
adult
but
who
I
would
don't
talk
think
sexually
we
with
went
minors
to
was in a
Barely.
Discord server. A Discord server, I should add, that Repzilla advertised as being a secure and safe place for people to be. Just so you know, a Discord server...
We played this.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did. Because this is where you bring up the phone. And this is the highest
Oh,
level
did we
restriction.
already bring that up?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Being all smug and shit, talking down to me on my own fucking live stream. Yeah, we already fucking played this shit. I've been paying attention. Where the fuck were you? High as shit.
Yeah.
Not even I know what's going on. What are you up to, man? What are you
Well, it sounds like you're on your male period.
Okay, wait. Where next? Where next?
I think it's right after Discord hypocrisy.
Neglected
Because
grooming situation?
from there,
That's the Asman.
oh, the Asman. After that, I think because it's the Real Stream News and the Noah Pothoven stuff that I think we should talk about.
Okay. RSN. Shout out to RSN, by the way. I haven't talked to him in a long time. Should probably say hi to him. He's always on Discord.
Before I start this one, yes, I know RSN is a controversial creator, and honestly, he has done some stupid things that I don't agree with. Regardless of how you feel about him, though,
Oh, fuck yeah.
I have to mention this because the shit Repzilla did to RSN was fucked up. I'm not sure if many of you knew this, but Repzilla and RSN were actually internet friends. Around 4 years ago, RSN was accused of raping a woman named Amber. This was later proven to be false, as a phone call between Amber and her mother was leaked, where the mother pressured her to go through with the accusations, even though Amber can be heard saying there wasn't a rape.
I'm gonna get you home. Don't worry about
No,
that.
I mean, if I called the cops, you would have been arrested for other stuff.
We'll have to go to the police department and you have to have a rape test.
Why?
For his DNA.
Yeah. No, if I call the cops, there's nothing else to say.
What do you mean?
It would be considered rape, and it's not.
Wait a minute, what?
If I called the cops, I'd have to say he raped me.
Right.
It's not rape.
The police did get a hold of the call as well as the rest of Amber's schedule that week and concluded that there was no evidence an actual assault occurred. Thus, no report was filed and no court case happened. Repzilla, who was still friendly with RSN at this time, was told all of this, and he even agreed that it was messed up that Amber lied about being assaulted. RSN and Rep ended up having a fallout during the Leafy Greens situation as Repzilla got angry at RSN when he and the Life of a Free Spirit refused to make videos on Leafy Greens on Repzilla's behalf. Repzilla, being the vindictive little asshole he is, decided to teach RSN a lesson and released 3 videos talking about the situation between RSN and Amber as if it was an active case. The situation, in fact, had happened 2 years prior to the Leafy Greens incident, and Repzilla already knew the details and that it was a false accusation.
You know what? I had completely forgotten that's how he did him. I thought it was much closer in time. I forgot it was a fucking year difference. That is evil. He is fucking evil.
No, and I think the disgusting thing too is when I was listening to that call between him and RSN, it was very obvious he was trying to play stupid because before they even got to the topic, when RSN was like, can we talk about the Amber situation? He's like, tell me about that revenge porn where you had revenge porn of that lady. Tell me about that. He was like trying to direct the conversation elsewhere. And then when it finally got to the topic of Amber, he was like, oh, well, do you have evidence that you can show me? Demanding evidence. And RSN is like, yeah, I do. Shows him that exact same video that I show in the video and the other videos that he uploaded a long while ago that had already gained a lot of traction. And Repzilla's like, I was never shown these. I didn't see these. And it was so obvious he was playing stupid.
Amber and RSN
and over the Leafy Green situation, just because RSN wouldn't make a hit piece on her, like, that's disgusting.
So he accused his internet friend of rape.
Well, he already knew about the accusation beforehand, and he ran with it after RSN basically slighted him over the Leafy Green stuff. He got mad at RSN over that, so he's like, I'll take these allegations that you told me about and I'll bring them to YouTube.
That is actually fucking...
No, I know, and I'm mad about that. It's like, regardless of what you guys, like, because I know some people are like, oh, well, it's a messy situation or whatever. The girl ultimately recanted, and she asked him to bring the video down, and he refused.
He is just fucking...
reconcile and return to being friends around this time. I'm not sure why, but Amber was made aware of the videos Repzilla made on her and RSN. Bothered by this misinformation, she did reach out to Repzilla and let him know that she had recanted her statement and that he should take the videos down as they could be considered slanderous. Instead of listening to the person who made the accusation in the first place, he tried gaslighting her into thinking she misremembered and that he would not take the videos down. Keep in mind, this all happened because RSN didn't want to make an exposed video on Leafy Greens on Repzilla's behalf. Recently, there was a call.
That's the same screenshot I showed when he was asking me on Twitter for evidence, and then he replied, he's like, well, there's more to that conversation. You need to show that too. And it's like, well, I don't know, Repzilla, they're your DMs. Why don't you show them? Like, I'm not the one who has all the DMs. They're your DMs. And yeah, according to someone who he showed the DMs to when they asked the same question, it's stuff that's already been out there. It's nothing that really changes the situation. It's her like, recanting.
I mean, like, okay, like, show the entire thing. I mean, it's probably gonna make you look worse, but okay, go for it.
Well, again, it's like, it's his messages. They're not mine.
That's great. Very interesting.
Repzilla did agree to take down the videos, as long as RSN would take down videos where he talked about Repzilla. Kinda shady if you ask me, but I'm not going to speak anymore about this call out of respect for both RSN and Repzilla, as it was good that they buried the hatchet, even if Repzilla made it as difficult to do as possible.
Okay, the choice of Noah Pothoven?
Pothoven, yeah.
Okay. Why don't you let the audience know who Noah Pothoven is?
I tell in the beginning of the segment.
Okay. Talk to the audience about the previous segment really quick. I gotta pee really quick.
Sorry. Oh, that's what you got. Okay, well, I'm peeing after this. So basically, Noah Pothoven was a Dutch mental health advocate and author. That's basically what I say in the video, but yeah, she ended up committing suicide via starvation.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
depressing.
No, and I'm gonna warn you guys now, for those of you in the audience, like if you're like, this is probably like the most sensitive topic of the video. So like if you are triggered by eating disorders, if you're triggered by anything related to sexual assault or pedophilia, I suggest not watching this segment, because there were a lot of people in Xylie's chat too that had to actually leave when that segment was playing, because it was really triggering for people. I normally don't do trigger warnings on certain topics, but like I think it's justified here to put that, because it's extremely disgusting and unfortunate with what the situation was. But Smart Alec, what do you think about the previous segment? About the RSN stuff?
Oh, I was kind of multitasking. I'm sorry. Also, low key, I didn't want to mention this earlier because, because I didn't want to get into technical details and try fixing it. But for some reason, like the stream itself, of your video is, from my perspective, just in the Discord call is muted, but works fine.
Yeah, no, it's
in the
muted
live
on
chat.
Discord. Crow's been having that issue
Yeah,
for a long while.
Kind of tough to just like go between like the video that's behind and that.
Yeah, something got to get done about that. I don't exactly know why Discord is like, because Xylie had issues with that yesterday too, or not yesterday when she did the stream.
Okay, GG Evan, to be fair, Crow did accidentally blank show emails at the blank. I'm not saying where, only because, yeah, I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna fix that. Thank you, GG Evan. Latchkey, thank you for the tip. He has a habit of predicting people's motives with a broken 8-ball. Wait, 420 is your minimum stoner? You can tip whatever you want, Latchkey. 420 is just the suggested tip. A lot of people just tip too. To think all could have been avoided if Rep didn't have that terrible car accident.
Jesus Christ.
Motherfucker, that is a tip. Motherfucker, even football players have concussions, or with concussion after concussion, to run circles around this weasel in a debate. Well, I don't doubt that, actually. Latchkey, thank you for the tip. I think people try to use fake morals to gatekeep who is worthy of YouTube fame. It's content and getting rid of your competition.
Well, in DMs with Permink, he was like telling Permink off. He's like, I think you grew too fast and you have too much of an audience or whatever. Like he was straight up like trying to grill Permink for having more subs.
Well, that's
it's really weird.
You know, Permink is a, you know, I don't know how to say it, but some people, they just, I don't know, they hit at the right time and they have a charismatic personality.
The algorithm works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, it's the algorithm more than charisma for most people. Let's be real. I mean, Repzilla exists.
Okay, so Aaron Trusty Miller, thank you for subscribing to the channel.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's play. You can go use the bathroom, Reds.
Oh, thank God.
After I released my first video on Repzilla, I was reached out to by someone named Tanya Mayer, who was close friends with a girl named Noah Pothoven. Noah Pothoven was a Dutch mental health activist and author who tragically passed away in 2019. She was in an immense amount of pain due to an assortment of mental health issues and intense PTSD from being sexually assaulted a number of times when she was under the age of 15. She had reached out to a euthanasia clinic for assisted suicide, to which she was denied since she did not have her parents' permission. Many media outlets falsely reported that her passing was due to assisted suicide when that in fact was not the case. Repzilla made a video covering the situation on how there was misinformation that was being spread. For once, I actually thought this would be an objectively good video until it took a nosedive when he began criticizing the girl for committing suicide. He then compared her pain that she had gone through to the trauma he had with his brain injury from his car accident and how he was strong enough to push through that pain. This is absolutely disgusting, not just because Repzilla.
Jesus. Holy fuck. Fuck, Smart Alec, you still here?
Maybe.
Dude, okay, did you hear that?
Unfortunately, I'm having to rely on a bit of the actual YouTube video, and it's behind.
Okay, well, apparently Repzilla decided to compare him getting TBI to a girl who was sexually assaulted and blame her for her suicide? Like,
low key, that sounds like Kai Weiss.
dude, like, this guy's fucking evil. Like legitimately hardcore, absolutely fucking evil. Zombie Fox, thank you for the tip. Fuck this motherfucker for saying this disgusting shit he does about this girl. Your fucking brain injury can't be related to the hell she suffered, you fuck. I seriously wish that car crash finished. I probably should not read the end of that tip, Zombie Fox, but like, dude, chill out, dude. Chill out.
We do not condone this, even if Crow's getting money.
Yeah, I don't condone that one. Like that's way too far, Zombie Fox. Yeah, I completely agree that it's way over the line and absolutely disgusting for him to compare him getting TBI to a girl being sexually assaulted, but like, you don't need to say that you want him dead. Like, I mean, this is just internet drama stuff, just to be clear.
At the end of the day, the best punishment is for as many people to see stuff as possible, and then they're like, oh, I hate them now, I'm going to unsubscribe.
And by the way, I know you're probably just like, you know, because I know Zombie Fox likes to like say like really edgy shit. But be careful, because like people take it seriously and they'll say that you were actively calling for that dude to die. And you don't want that. Nobody wants that.
Zilla started making the subject about himself, but because he was making a false equivalence.
The 17-year-old child not
that does
just feeling like she had nowhere else to go, nowhere to turn, and that her life was essentially over, really deeply saddens me, because it always gets better. I remember back in 2017 after my accident, it was just deep depression, and we've all been there. And if I had done anything, if I had just given up then I wouldn't have all you guys now. And I've had multiple times throughout my life where things just seemed so dark, and you just move forward. I mean, it's hard and it's difficult, but you gotta go forward. These things happen. You're gonna feel bad. Not every day is gonna be the best day, man. But just from my experience, and I've been there, like, it does get better. As I said, I am gonna put some resources down below for you guys, and if you need to reach out to me, you know, any social media, you can reach out to me any way that you feel comfortable, because I'm here for you. And as always, you can reach out to me on Discord, email, whatever you feel comfortable with doing.
But in all seriousness though, if you're feeling down or depressed or you need someone to talk to, reaching out to your favorite influencer should be the last of your options. Having a traumatic brain injury is a very different experience from being assaulted multiple times as a child. It's common sense not to compare one person's personal trauma to someone else's, and anyone who does that is just plain stupid. Tanya actually commented on his video saying there was missing context he failed to add about Noah's passing. She reached out to him on Instagram to provide more information regarding Noah's state and what she was going through when she was in recovery. Repzilla responded and asked to set up a Discord call with her to share more, which, after him being late to responding and sleepy, never got back to her about the call. After a number of failed attempts at getting him to answer her calls, fed up with his incompetence, Tanya sent a last string of messages to him and reminded him that the video was still up, and he didn't even make the effort to clarify the misinformation on Noah, even though he was well aware that there were errors. I'm going to read out the messages between Repzilla and Tanya. Some of her messages are a bit broken because English is not her first language, so I will try to read them the best I can.
Dude, what a piece of shit. Like, this is disgusting, man. Like, this stuff is fucking disgusting. What the fuck is wrong with you?
The worst part is suggesting that people should confide in parasocial relationships at all.
No, but like what he did here, like, okay, all right, let's just.
Hey Repzilla, I know you don't know me and this is an older topic. I wanted to ask about the video about Noah Pofovic. She was my best friend before her passing, and I still have a lot of grief in me. I do love what you make, and it showed up again on my homepage. I did watch it now for the second time because this was all in the news and was not what happened. We lived at the same mental health unit for a year. The last year of her life, she was out of option, and ECT is what made her go back at her ED and self-harm. She was 17 years old, not an adult. It got so bad that she stopped eating and drinking, and with already a broken body, she went into a coma at the hospital. The hospital gave her a feeding tube when she was in a coma. After a week, there was a hospital bed that was brought to her house. A wakened outpatient, nobody could help her anymore, so I was there every day. Part that says she got a choice to die with help is not the case. She was too young, only when 18 years and older was the law at the time. So the tube was needed to let her stay alive. She did want to sleep in, but the suffering in being 17 gave no choice and the tube got out, and she starved to death. Her mom did not want to make her go through more pain, and she also had psychosis at that point. So we know she is dying, but she was in so much pain for years now and can't get the injection. We needed to let her go and not force anything on her again. What was now, at this point, for more than 5 years. When she passed, DID Media read an interview they did with her a year before, where she says she wished that the injection was an option. I got news outlets that DID called for months, her parents also. Her mother in tears on TV also explaining that was not the case and it hurt that people thought that. We tried to block the media as it was heartbreaking. It was June 2nd on the day of her passing. The day that I went was my birthday, so I wanted to see her, but it became a shock and a trauma for me and a total crime scene. The report says neutral death. If you stop eating and drinking, your body just gives out. This video has much misinformation and people still have the idea that she got the help of a doctor. I did find myself really bad and scared to ask if you can give the correct info about her in the description or have it not online. I know to make things like that is a lot of work and I get if you leave it public. And I'm asking this not from a bad place. It showed up again and I'm wanting to ask it. I'm sorry for asking. I get that it is much work and get it if you let it be how it is now. If I can clear information or you want proof of my friendship with Noah, please feel free to ask or ask for any details I didn't share. The time of her last therapy, I was in an ICU for mental health next to where she got the ECT. I stayed at the ICU place from Parnasia K-Cap Nectarine Strat. She did go to the outpatient Mango Strat. There is one clinic there and also there's a center for all the additional drugs that can help. It's kind of like a mental health mini city. I have stayed in 5 places there. I have now been in healthcare for more than 13 years, with still not really knowing why. We think now that I have the conversion disorder, what showed up in borderline polydrugs disorder and an eating disorder, but this is all conversion disorder or functional neurologic symptom disorder as it's named. Noah and I were in an ICU for eating disorders in 2015. Long text, I try to explain it as good as I can. I'm Dutch, so my English is bad. Sorry for that. Thanks for the time. Hope that I explained the situation as best I could. And that's basically how she closes her message off. Tanya then links the video that Repzilla made on Noah Pothoven. Repzilla responds and says, let's have a call tomorrow on my Discord server if you have time. Tanya responds and says, I'm Dutch, but if you give me time and a link, I'll find the time. I'm still in lockdown. Those messages were from June. Now skip all the way to October, and Repzilla then replies and says, sorry, I got this late. So if you
What the fuck? Wow. I mean, at least he got back to her.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't end there, though. It doesn't end there.
I know.
I mean, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's that. Wow. Just like fucking like, let's hope she just goes away.
could download Discord.
Well, you know
and
what's
add
fucked
Discord
up is
code.
like now with the context of how he like reached out to her yesterday and was like, hey, I never saw your messages, but like we'll get to that because I show when he leaves her left unread at the very end.
That is...
It's despicable, dude. Like, honestly, she was telling me, she's like, it's kind of insulting to my intelligence.
Well, you know, he's not a very intelligent guy, so I mean, if he's insulting you, don't take it that seriously.
All right, let's get back to
Tanya
the
then
video.
responds and says, I have added you on Discord. Around this, her mother also did go on Dutch TV and said how much this hurt her. So I can send that also. It's in Dutch, but don't know if there's any English in it now. And she links a clip from a TV show from the Netherlands where Noah Pothoven's mother goes on to talk about all the misinformation media outlets were spreading regarding Noah's death. It's a short bit of it, but they say it's false. The total clip is long, with also a part where you can hear her ask the president for help. I can't watch, it still hurts. By the way, my Discord name. And then she puts her Discord name. Repzilla then replies and says, hey, I'm sorry I got this so late. Initially, I closed DMs on Instagram so I could better manage replies. Tanya says, it's okay, I did try last month, kinda blocked it. There's no time to click on DMs. I'm assuming when she said like block it, I think she meant she called Repzilla last month, but then she kind of forgot about it. After that, Repzilla says, Tanya says, no, sorry for seeing this late. Sorry, I'm not 100% well myself, so I also am not clear. Repzilla says, oh, are you okay? Tanya says, I'm at the hospital, but fine. ED relapse. Repzilla says, I see. I'm sure they will take good care of you. Tanya says, yes, it's going to be okay. Just now not clean because the meds they give. Could be worse. Hope you're okay. Repzilla says, I'm about to fall asleep, but I'm fine. Tanya says, hope you sleep fine. Here we start the day now. Haha, CET time. Repzilla says, good night, get well soon. Tanya then says, good night, I'll do my best and stay safe. Those messages were in 2020. Now we cut to November 20th of 2021, and Tanya says, hey, I literally wait now a year for a response, and the video is still up with misinformation and no correction in the comment or the description. I want to ask again for you to correct the information or take the video down. This is misinformation about the death of a 17-year-old. The two links to the news about the cause of death also back up my claim. Also here when you Google it, and she gives another link this time to the Washington Post. Lisa Worstveld, a Dutch lawmaker who had visited Noah before her death, and she was surrounded by family and friends in her living room, said she was struck by the teenager's strength. She told the Gelderlander that it was nice to see her again, although the circumstances were surreal. The spokeswoman for Westerveld told the Washington Post that she did not know more about the circumstances of the teenager's death. I will never forget her, the lawmaker vowed. We will continue her struggle. The health minister struck a similar tone, saying, our hearts go out to her family and friends. The family must now be allowed to grieve for Noah in peace, he added. As you can see, after the final messages, he left her unread. Since Repzilla was too incompetent to hear Tanya out and look at the information that was sent his way, I'll correct what he failed to do and give the side of the story.
So again,
that's how the conversation ended. That's how the conversation, yeah.
You drop
until
your
yesterday.
Video. You drop your video. And yesterday he reaches out to her to let her know, oh, I just saw this. I didn't receive it. I'm just...
He did that with Dez for the Asman stuff. He did that to Hannah Animal after she called him out for blocking Emmy from it. Actually, we need to go look at the Asman thing because he blocks someone from commenting on there after she calls him out for not, like, basically being accountable or whatever in his video.
Okay, well, we have a
I
little
totally forgot about that part because, yes, there's a part in that video because Hannah Animal basically called him out because he deleted a girl's comment and then blocked her from commenting on his channel. And so she word for word retyped the comment and he actually responded and decided to play stupid and she basically kind of roasted him. It's kind of funny.
Okay, we'll go back into that one because we'll have a little bit left on this part.
Okay.
Story she wanted to tell. Noah was hospitalized often for numerous suicide attempts. Her parents were very much worried about her and did everything they could to try and help her. She was already suffering from depression, anxiety, anorexia, and BPD alongside the PTSD. Her parents, out of desperation, did sign off on her getting electroshock therapy, which unfortunately didn't help as it caused her to develop psychosis. For someone underage who is already going through a lot, this can cause even more pain and distress. She did end up passing away due to starving herself to death. However, it wasn't a situation where her friends and family unquestioningly let it happen. They ultimately decided that force feeding would be a risk to Noah's safety, as tube feeding in the Netherlands is not overseen by nurses. Instead, they give instructions, the medical supplies, the medication necessary, and then send the patient home to inject the formula into themselves. This makes it unfortunately easy to overdose on the medication, as Tanya described how one time she herself went into cardiac arrest twice when she mixed the medication with alcohol. The reason force feeding was off the table was because there was a high probability that Noah would have made herself overdose on the medication. She chose not to eat or drink, and there was nothing else they could do to stop her body from shutting down without causing her more pain. Here's the post that Noah made before she died. The beginning was an annotation that her mother made, updating everyone with the final message. Afterward is Noah's original words. The post is in Dutch, but I translated it the best I could. May 30th, 2019 was your last post on Instagram that I panicked after your death because the media around the world let this message go around the world, often with wrong information, which was later largely restored. You have drawn worldwide attention to the great shortage of expertise that still exists in youth psychiatry. Below is an exact repost of your last message today a year ago. With that, I also close the posts on this account, Noah Maestro, on Instagram. Her last message to your followers has been restored, and I feel in everything that it should be. Love, Noah's mom. A sad last post. I doubted for a long time whether I should put it here, going to share, but decided to do it anyway. Perhaps it's unexpected because of my posts about the recording, but my plan has been there for a while, so it's not impulsive. I'll get straight to the point. I will die within a maximum of 10 days. After years of fighting and fighting, it's over. I've stopped eating and drinking for a while now, and after much conversation and reviews, it has been decided that I will be released because my suffering is unbearable. It's finished. I haven't really been alive for so long. I'm surviving, and not even that really. I'm still breathing, but I'm not alive. I am well looked after, I am on strong pain relief, and I am with my family all day. I am in a hospital bed in the living room. I am in the process of saying goodbye to the most important people in my life. I can no longer read, and I can hardly text anymore. If I don't approach you myself, I won't be able to say goodbye. I'm very weak, so limit this to the most important people. I hereby also ask, if you don't want to spam me with please, if this is possible, I can't handle that anymore. It's fine this way. Don't convince me this isn't right. This is my decision, and it is final. Love is letting go. In this case, it is. Thanks for your support always. It's fine this way. It will be posted here in a while when I die, so that will be automatic. Clear. Love from Noah. The anguish that Noah suffered is unimaginable, and for Repzilla to criticize her for not pushing through this pain and then comparing it to his traumatic brain injury makes me fucking sick. Come the fuck on, dude. I knew you were pathetic, but this is beyond pathetic for you. As you can see, what we're dealing with here is an individual with a messiah complex who relies on emotionally charged.
Yeah, man, that's the same thing as TBI. I don't know what you're talking about, Redski. Like, he got a head owie and it was really bad, and now he has trouble doing research. Why are you trying to, you know, why aren't you respecting all the pain this man has been through?
Yeah, no, but what did you think about the fact that he compared what he went through to, like, the trauma that...
I think he's a piece of shit! I think he's
I
always
thought
been
it was
a piece
disgusting.
of shit. Jesus, like, I mean, that's disgusting. And then all the shit he gets wrong. And then she reaches out to you, like, in good faith, just asks you to correct the record, and you sit there and just, like, blow her off, you know, hand wave her away. Oh, yeah, okay, just get back to me later. Fuck off, dude, you piece of fucking garbage.
And then, just yesterday, he reaches out to her and pretends like he never saw the message and left her on red when there's literally a receipt that shows he left her on red since November until yesterday, so...
Well, you see, he realized that now she's talking to other content creators, and now he's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. He doesn't
It's
care
too
about her.
late. It's always been too late for him. He reacts way too late to things. He needs to just accept that he fucked up this, like, these situations and not try and cover his ass. Because I saw that message and I told it to you, I think, beforehand as well, but I told it to this girl as well. It's like, it looks like he's trying to just do damage control. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, 100. Alright, let me go into the next one. But let me just get these types really quick. GG Evan, thank you. Repzilla is the ass end of the human centipede. I won't stop making car crash.
Oh.
More money you donate, the grosser the dono message.
Yeah, that last bit was a bit far, even for more edgy for. Yeah, that last bit was a bit far, even for more edgy for even my taste. Like, what the fuck is you? I'll never understand how someone could try to empathize with that. Don't want anyone doing some guilt by association shit. Well, thank you for the tip, Zombie Fox. GG Evan, thank you for the other tip. What is it with Repzilla and starving girls? Also, Rep's ego is like 80s Ford Pinto. Just one slap on the ass and it goes up in flames.
Jesus.
You two are crazy.
Nothing new from GG Evan.
Yeah, no, really. Well, those are fucking great, though. Let's be real. Okay, so where was the
Asman stuff? It's literally the chapter. It was
neglecting
titled
grooming.
Asman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last one.
Even though we
Speaking
played
of
it out
Repzilla
of
not
order.
talking about things, it would be a waste to have a
My
video
bad.
this long and not bring up how the man who prides himself on bringing awareness ignored an opportunity to bring awareness about an actual pedophile. Now, I know no creator is obligated to cover everything their audience wants, but Repzilla gave these girls false hope by acknowledging the situation when he was sent evidence. It all started back when Repzilla took a Twitter user named Dissociative's tweet out of context and used it in a video about Eugenia Cooney, framing the tweet as if it was telling her not to get help. A friend of Dez's left a comment with a timestamp of when the tweet was shown and pointed out that the tweet was used out of context. They further point out how he ignored messages from a mutual friend of theirs named Reese in regards to Dez being groomed by now former content creator Asman. These messages were sent to him via his Instagram, which he links in the description of his videos for where people could contact him about video topics. Conveniently, he has since removed the link, most likely due to the criticism he received for ignoring what was sent to him. If you want more details in regards to the Asman situation, I covered the situation and the thread that Dez posted on both Toy Bounty Hunters and Xylee Gets Real's streams. I will also post a link to the Twitter thread itself. It's also important to note that this info was first sent to Belle Aubrey in January of 2021, who said she was sharing it with Repzilla. I'm gonna be real with you guys, I'm not gonna take Belle Aubrey at her word for everything because, like I said before, she's a nutso, but this does confirm that Repzilla and Belle were in some sort of contact since at least January. The comment that was left on the video has since been removed for some strange reason. Emmy, another friend of Dez, reached out to Repzilla over Instagram to let him know that he used Dez's tweet out of context and that it was creating issues because his audience thought Dez was pro-Anna. It should be noted that Repzilla does know who Emmy and Dez are, not just because of what he was told in regards to the tweet and Asman thing, but because they would frequently interact with his tweets and he would respond. This might sound like irrelevant information, but trust me, it'll be important soon. Reese sent Repzilla the Twitter thread that Dez made regarding her experience with Asman, which goes into extensive detail on what occurred between the two. I don't want to sidetrack this segment too much, but I do gotta say, this is probably one of the best Twitter threads by far that I've seen that exists in terms of presenting evidence. When this all blew up while he was under fire for the Eugenia stuff, Repzilla denied ever being made aware of the Asman situation, which didn't really work in his favor. As seen in the screenshot from his DMs with Reese, he acknowledges what was sent. All the evidence was easily accessible and handed to him on a silver platter. He didn't even need to do any of the research. Yet Repzilla chose to ghost a victim of grooming in order to pursue a vendetta against Eugenia Cooney with Belle Aubrey, because yes, at the time that this stuff was sent to him, it was around the same time he started picking up his outrage towards Eugenia Cooney once again. The only reason I'm even mentioning this situation is to give yet another example of how Repzilla's whole helping the cause and sticking up for survivors is bullshit. I'm just saying it how it is. It's pretty piss poor for the man who prides himself on spreading awareness would rather advocate for someone with an illness to be deplatformed instead of bringing actual awareness to a situation where a legit pedophile got away. Again, if you want more specifics about Asman, I'll be linking both streams where the other creators and I go over the thread. To wrap up this whole debacle, Dez tweeted at Repzilla as he never corrected the record on misrepresenting the tweet in his video from May. When Repzilla released the opening up video in December of 2021, Emmy, dissatisfied that he failed to address not only misrepresenting Dez, but also not addressing why he ignored Reese when she gave him the information on Asman, commented on how he never addressed these situations. Her comment was removed not long after she posted it, something Repzilla seemed to have a habit of doing, and was blocked from commenting anymore on his channel. He also removed comments from people taking issue with how he never really owned up to his actions during the Eugenia Cooney situation. Anna Animal decided to conduct a small test and pasted the exact comment Emmy had posted word for word to see if it would get removed. Repzilla, you're still avoiding some subjects. Where's the apology to the people you misrepresented on purpose? Where's the apology to Dez? To the donor of Eugenia who you accused of wanting her to move a box? Where are these apologies? Where's the apology to us, Dez, Girl 2, Sai, and Reese? Sarah was after you were told about the situation. Repzilla, you need to own up to this. Admit you ignored us. You talked to Reese and can be proven to have done so. I reached out to you because you took my best friend out of context. Where's the accountability? Instead of it getting removed, Repzilla actually responded, denying he knew who the people were that were named in the comment, even though he had liked and responded to their Twitter replies, as well as received a notice from them prior to the May video on Eugenia in DMs. He was also well aware of their names due to his knowledge of Xylee's stream where both Xylee and I went over the Asman thread. Repzilla responded to the comment saying, I don't know who these people are that you're talking about. Still, as far as Eugenia goes, I made content in the past that I no longer stand by and have removed some of that content and apologized to Eugenia directly, but that isn't what this video is about for me, so I didn't include it. I clarified my intentions in a few videos at the end because I could have done better in those said videos, which is why I brought them up. I could link said apology if needed, and maybe I will. I'm still processing things and will update the pinned comment when I figure it out.
It doesn't make it doesn't make sense that you would lie about something that's be so easily disproven. But again, it doesn't matter because his audience isn't going to listen to the other people when they say, hey, he's lying to you. Just go like, no, you're lying to us.
Well, there's some people that got into my comments on the video where they were like, you brainheads don't know the real Shane. We know the real Shane. It's like, oh my God. Like, I'm like, you're a lost cause.
That is not. That is.
It's all the parasocial relationship thing. As long as you entertain it enough, like, there's some people who are they'll really eat that up.
What doesn't add up about this is that Repzilla made the video called Opening Up, and he said he would be addressing
being evil just is more reliable. Because if you're good, that means you're like, hey, dear audience, please point out my BS. But that will also be you're more likely for everyone to point out your BS and lose credibility. So what do you fucking do?
Well, I think people would earn more credibility if they if they acknowledged they made mistakes and that they would work to change that shit.
You'd think that, but that's not what I've seen.
Really?
I mean, look at YouTube right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a different story, but...
Oh, yeah, totally.
Everything he was receiving criticism for. This included the Asman stuff and ignoring the DMs from people. He only cherry-picked stuff, and this is a clear example of him trying to weasel his way out of it. Anna responded, this was a test comment since the original person seems to be blocked from your channel. This is exactly what Emmy wrote, word for word, so it wasn't taken out of my filters as originally thought. Seems odd, someone that has tried correcting you in the comments before and criticizes you. None of their comments can be found anymore. My actual opinions of this video is, it's easy to hide lies within a truth. You did have valid points with the stalker situation, but then the rest of this video seems like filler. After that, it's a number of things that don't line up because your main focus was that. Seems you thought people wouldn't notice. For example, James Charles. I watched your original video and it's conveniently clipped in this video. You heavily imply things, and should we even mention the thumbnail and title? It wasn't correcting a narrative others created, you created it. Even in this video, you can't take full responsibility. And another commenter added on to how there was proof. He acknowledged the Asman thread. Repzilla, you do know though. There is a proven screen recording of a convo you had with someone called Reese. There is an alleged predator in the anime/gaming community. There is a YouTuber named Asman who is inappropriately talking to young minors. He would play hentai games and broadcast it to his audience, and showed two characters having sex in Artificial Academy 2. It was all around inappropriate, and the evidence the victims gave to prove that Asman, also known as Nathan, groomed them is in the link below. This started in December of 2020, but no one is talking about it. It's ongoing as well. Another victim came forward today, and she links the Twitter thread that Des created. Another victim is speaking out. Repzilla responds, thank you for reaching out about this. Reese responds, thank you for checking it out, dude. Asman recently removed all but 11 videos on YouTube and completely deleted Pi Senpai. There are mirrors though. I don't mean to be a bug about this, but thank you. And you can see that Repzilla reacted with a heart. Reese then continues and says, last one I promise, lol. The day that Nathan deleted all of his videos except for 11, and she shows his social blade. And you can see that Repzilla has seen this. What makes this even more insufferable is that on December 10th, after months of being tweeted at and messaged about taking Dez's tweet out of context, Repzilla reached out to Dez and said he never got to correct the misinformation until now because he was, quote, away and had to take care of some things. And while yes, he did blur that section of the video finally, dude, you saw the tweets and ignored them.
Guys, I just saw this. Guys, I just saw this.
Yeah.
I just saw this. I totally didn't blow it off. I totally saw it.
BS.
I was working on an update, Redski. I was working on an update, but then you dropped your my cat, and then you dropped your video, and now it just wouldn't be right. So I'm just gonna leave it up as is. But like, I want you to know that I'm very upset with your video. Fucking, swear to God. Ah, god damn. This one's like really. It fits his pattern of behavior with the guy. Honestly.
No, yeah, I know.
You saw the DMs on Instagram and ignored them, and when someone typed a comment calling you out, you removed.
I'm not very forgiving with YouTubers these days because they've always failed me.
They failed you? What do you mean they failed you? They
Well,
failed
I am
themselves.
I promise you.
They failed themselves.
Well, I mean, okay, I know the phrasing was obviously narcissistic, but the one they failed you question's interesting because they always promise to change and they never do.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I just say they failed themselves then, because it's like they're promising themselves they'll change, knowing that they most likely won't and change for the better.
Well, they also failed their audience, too.
Yeah. Well, they failed themselves by failing their audience as well.
It so your comment section could be
They're just all failures.
Positivity.
Anyway,
it wasn't until Hannah caught you in the lie by putting the exact same comments Emmy did in order to bait you into a response. Emmy herself actually made a video talking about this specific situation, so I will link that in the description as well because I do think it's best to hear it from her words what her experience was with this whole situation. Before I start this
Alright, there we go.
Alright. Well, I think
That's
he's a piece
wrap.
of shit. I think he's a piece of
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, honestly, the video serves the purpose, as the title says. It's the conclusion, just, really hamming in on, like, a lot of the times he was either just, like, a piece of shit or he fucked up on something. Also, like, a response to his other video he made, just showing how even when he's given the opportunity to come forward about stuff, he lies and tries to bury things.
Yeah, I don't know why he lies about like such obvious things and he's
Minuscule shit.
Yeah, because there's worse things that he's done, right? That I can understand why he would feel compelled to lie to try to like bury it. But there's other shit where it's just like, dude, just be honest. It's not that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
He can help himself. Like it's his go-to.
Was the stream supposed to end?
What?
I mean, like the sharing screen part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ending the stream. That was the end.
Hey boys.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty
but the
base
video's still
video,
going,
Redski.
We're still.
The stream is still going. The screen sharing
yeah.
isn't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm saying the final closing thoughts.
Okay, alright. Smart Alec, give your final closing thoughts since you're in such a rush.
Well, okay.
I'm not
Anyways,
in a rush.
Basky, that was a pretty damn good expose. And
Yeah.
Repzilla is a pretty fucking cringe lord. Who I'm sure many people will make terrible, tasteless jokes about his brain injury. I guess my closing thoughts is, I don't know, it's pretty based, exposing cringelord YouTubers and saying they won't change if they actually won't change, because people are too forgiving these days. I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very deep thoughts. Thank you.
You're welcome, bruh. GG Evan, shut up.
Okay, look, my thoughts on this whole thing are he hasn't changed. His go-to is just to lie consistent. His audience just seems genuinely to not
They're
care.
brainwashed.
I wouldn't say brainwashed. It's just
Well,
like
some of them for sure.
maybe a little bit. I wouldn't say brainwashed. I think it's just that mob mentality, and they're in the mob.
Well,
right?
dude, one of my fucking criticisms in my first video was someone was like, everything in this video you're saying about him is wrong because Repzilla is hot. That was their that was their argument. They're like, he's attractive, so therefore you're all in the wrong. It's
Hassan!
like,
Hassan moment.
Cringe.
That's Hassan Piker's like entire audience. Okay.
So cringe.
All right.